Here, and I'd like to personally welcome John Fry to the board.
Oh, and that was funny. Thank you.
Mr. Farahi,
Yeah.
Mr. Long,
Here.
Miss Young,
Here.
and Chair Shivi. You have a quorum.
All right, thank you.
And I'd like to also welcome Commissioner to the board.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
very happy to have our new members. All right, we'll move to item B, which are public comment. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment at this time.
Okay, item C is our consent agenda. C1 is the approval of the agenda for January 22nd, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve both items on the consent agenda as submitted.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Move to item D, which are our presentations. D1 is our department update.
We do the minutes.
Oh,
Sorry.
We did.
sorry.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Part of consent.
Sorry.
There are
Still,
two items
I
on
think I'm still across the street. Where else? Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Vice Chair Young. Wild Sheep Show is officially open, the doors. We thank you to Vice Chair Young for doing the press conference. Tremendous show. It's been here for 33 years. We hope it's here for another 33. It has tremendous impact on our region in terms of room nights, economic impact, and of course, the demographic that that group represents. So it's great that Gray and his team believe in Northern Nevada and believe in Tahoe, and we're very happy to have them back. My presentation, I did the click, right, I apologize. Yeah. More. Today's updates will just be myself and then Mr. Jimenez, who is retiring officially in 8 days, is going to give an update and recap on the American Bus Association. Not to steal Arch Thunder, but a tremendous show for Northern Nevada, not only for the time of year that it was taking place in Northern Nevada, but also for the number of delegates, the room nights, the economic impact, and of course, the tour operators that were present, which only provides a tremendous opportunity, thank you, for opportunity for exposure and future business, reciprocal business, as we had the exposure of all these tour operators, who most of them had never been to Northern Nevada, Tahoe and Sparks. So great opportunity. The first thing I just wanted to remind the board, and we've done this in the past, we haven't done it in the last few meetings, but we encourage any board member that is interested to accompany us on whether it is a scheduled show through the M&C team, the meetings and convention team, through the leisure team, or any event where we are hosting events. This is obviously in your packet. These are shows that we are scheduled to attend between basically February and the end of the fiscal year in June. We'll update this about every quarter, but we would love to have you join us if available. I know you all have very tight schedules and other lives besides being on our board, but if the opportunity presents itself, we'd love to have you join us on one of these shows. There's some great sporting events on there too, Mr. Corona. Sacramento Kings, San Diego Padres. Love it.
He just let me know that.
Right, yes, absolutely. No Cowboy games. We're in Cambridge. We were very fortunate yesterday to host Senator Rosen for a tourism roundtable. Several representatives from the Northern Nevada tourism community, government affairs, participated in a 1-hour session to really talk about tourism, not only for Northern Nevada, but for the state of Nevada, and the impacts, the decisions that are being made at the federal level, both pro and con. And so we really just had a discussion. Christina, Art, and John joined from the RSCVA team. It was a great opportunity to get exposure to the senator and to be able to voice our concerns representing Northern Nevada about tourism and the impacts from the federal level. One of the takeaways that I really appreciated that both Travel Nevada and Senator Rosen's office offered to assist us was in the effort of grants. And it's a bit of a novice area for us in pursuing federal grants and what those opportunities are. And it's a continuous process. The applications are very time consuming, but you also have to know what you're looking at so that you're not wasting your time going after grants to you. The probability of achieving and being awarded those are slim to none. So My takeaway from yesterday was that we are going to get assistance both from Senator Rosen's office and Travel Nevada, and making sure that we're pursuing the right grants and where we have a chance of being awarded those grants for the RSCVA moving forward. Yesterday, I sent the entire board what we're calling a 2025 year in review report. I'm sorry, it was only 152 pages, I think, all in. We will only do this report once a year. It encompasses everything from finance, sales, tourism, marketing, measures production through all the key metrics in terms of ADR, occupancy, visitation, room tax revenue, how we perform versus the prior year, how we're performing versus budget. That's kind of a synopsis of the entire year. It goes through all our marketing achievements, our website click-throughs, our new branding, our new agency. But please, if you can, take time, kill a few hours to go through it. And if anybody would like to meet with either myself or any of the department heads that oversee those departments on behalf of our CBA, we would love to sit down and have a discussion with all of you. So we will also, on a quarterly basis, provide the board a significantly condensed version of this same report, really just focusing on quarterly results and not annual. But we want to get into a pattern where we are sending this to you on an annual basis and then a smaller report on a quarterly basis. We also sent this annual report out to all of the hoteliers, and we'll send it to the regional DMOs as well. Any questions on? I'm sure everybody's read it by now. You've had about 8 hours since we sent it, so. But it's I appreciate the team for taking the time to put together their areas. Every month, and again, to echo Mr. Carano's comments, and I apologize for being remiss in welcoming our new board members, Commissioner Andriola, Mr. Ferrari. It's a pleasure to have you. We look forward to your input and your questions. And we had a great pre-board with Mr. Ferrari, and he has challenged us in a lot of ways that the team's really looking forward to making sure that we prioritize what's important to him as a board member representing our CBA. So every month we give an update in terms of how we are performing for the prior month, assuming that we have all the numbers in. This is not audited, but this is a very strong preliminary of how we stand. So this is actual for the month of December versus prior year. So these are the key metrics that we look at, Commissioner and Mr. Ferrari. So we look at overall room tax revenue. So to last December, we were down 1.6%. ADR, again, overall, this encompasses all hotels, motels, Airbnbs. We were down slightly at 3.2%. Overall occupancy was actually up at 3.7%. Tourism room nights, which is Mr. Jimenez's areas, up 1.2, which helps us look at what segmentations are being represented when we're looking at the mix for that month. Group sales, this is obviously conventions, associations, sporting groups that were booked within the month of December for the future. The team had a tremendous month versus last year, and visitor count is up 1.7. So what does this report tell you? It tells you that our visitation, we're getting more people to come to the region. The hotels and the ADRs was a little bit lower, and that's a direct reflection of overall room tax revenue being down a little bit when we compare December 25 versus 24.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Your showed occupancy having gone up 3.7%. What area of the business the occupancy went up?
So we can provide you a complete breakdown by segment versus hotels, motels, Airbnbs. I can tell you for December, in my conversations with our room tax audit manager, Mr. Douglas, the main hotels, the top 9 that we categorize, were down in occupancy. The Airbnbs were up significantly.
I appreciate it. I would tell us what's going on in the market.
Absolutely.
Why the occupancy was up when the ADR and your overall room revenue tax was down.
Yeah, the other segment that we've seen a tremendous spike in this fiscal year, Mr. Fry, is the business travel segment, individual business travel. A lot of that business is staying in the select service, limited service properties, the non-gaming properties that are generating a higher ADR. But that segment through the global distribution system is up significantly. I think about 13%. Does that sound about right?
Well, for the calendar year, I don't think didn't grab December, but for July through December, that segment is up from 118,000 room nights to 128,000 room nights.
10,000. Yes.
And for the calendar year, that segment went from 216,000 room nights in 2024, 237,000 in 2025. So it's a very robust segment for us.
By the way, I apologize for having sunglasses on. I operated last week on one eye and I have to put this glasses on, so.
We should have all wore them in your honor. Thank you for the question. We appreciate it. Any other questions before? Glenn has his question.
I got these though. I can see all of you, you know, I got to be quite honest with you. Last time I spoke at a meeting like this, I couldn't see you on the other side. You know, and it was kind of, I wasn't sure I was talking right because I couldn't see you. Now I can see you.
No.
So it worked, John. It worked.
So when we look at, so we will always show how we performed in the month versus actual prior year, and we will also show how we performed versus budget. Again, Commissioner Andriola, and Mr. Farahi, we went into the budget this fiscal year at a 3.6% deficit, in terms of our anticipations for numerous factors, right? The economy, what's happening in the world, amount of business that was on the books. And the good news is that we have seen the numbers, in terms of our consumption numbers significantly outperform budget throughout the entire fiscal year. And you'll see that here in a minute in an upcoming slide. But for the month of December versus budget, again, with the exception of group sales room nights, and overall ADR, everything was up significantly from 3% to 3.4, 5.2, and then art section 7.6. So outperformed the budget, across most metrics.
Mike, could you please give us comps on a monthly basis?
You bet. In
The
terms
number
of
rooms,
other
comp-
cities,
because of whom we-
all comp rooms.
Yes.
Oh, sure. You bet.
Yes, that we need to see that because I would think the reason your occupancy is up is most of it is comp.
Yep, we can add that, not a problem, when we have that information.
Okay.
When you look at, again, July through December, first 6 months of the fiscal year, how we performed versus prior year actual, overall room tax down a little less than 1%, overall ADR down 1.7, again, overall occupancy increased 1.1%, tourism up 2.6, group sales, again, what we are booking for the future and pacing is up 14% to prior year to the first 6 months, and visitor count up 0.3. So we obviously strive to outperform in every segment, but when you look at one, and we had this conversation with Mr. Fry yesterday, we always compare ourselves to Las Vegas. I know their situation for the last 6-12 months has been an anomaly, but we always get asked about Las Vegas because it's in our state. They are obviously significantly down, unfortunately, in a lot of segments, including airlift. We are holding flat pretty much across the board. When you look at Reno Tahoe in comparison for the first 6 months of this fiscal year versus other cities, ADR is relatively flat. Their visitor count and occupancies are generally down, and we have a subset of cities that we will share with you. I think it's in actually packet we sent you yesterday. We had, Christine and I spoke about this yesterday. We really focused on larger metropolitan cities that are drawing tourism. So we looked at Denver, Salt Lake, San Francisco, maybe Los Angeles, Seattle. We stayed away from the Spokanes, Palm Springs, Tucson, smaller cities, because we really feel that we want to compete with those larger cities. So, okay. When you look again at budget through the first 6 months of the year, up across the board, and it's a very good story, obviously. So overall room tax revenue up 5.5%, ADR 2.2, occupancy 2.7, tourism group sales again significantly higher than budget in both categories, and visitor count up 2%. Any questions at all on results?
Mike, real quick comment. I appreciate that we were conservative in our budgeting. I always like to exceed that, so I know we strive for improvement, but the reality of where the world is, where all of our budgets are, city and personal. That I appreciate that when we did budget, that we were conservative in that budgeting, and then the numbers showed that we know that we are above that, but not so high that, it wasn't realistic. So I feel like we're on track.
Yeah, and we've been on both sides of that pendulum, as you know, where we've been short and above. And I think where we are at is a testament to finance's ability to, one, be conservative, but be realistic as well. So.
Perfect, thank you.
You bet. Okay, so every month, again, I feel like I'm going through orientation with our new board members, so I apologize, but we created a employee award program a little over a year ago, and every month we recognize employees who have been nominated by their coworkers, their peers, or supervisors for the Spotlight Award, which is a monthly award, and then at the end of the fiscal year, we have a ceremony with all those Spotlight Award winners from monthly winners, and we have a runner-up and an employee of the year. We generally, rule of thumb is the policy states that we do not include management as being eligible for the Spotlight Award, but the team decided to make an exception this month. And our Spotlight Award winner is our Executive Director of Tourism, who's also in his last board meeting, Mr. Art Minutes. I'll take a picture later.
We'll do it. This entitles me to my days off.
Yes, it's so a little, we always ask the nominee and the winner's supervisors to provide a quote, which I told John I would do it for this one. So Art joined the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority on April 3rd, 2017, bringing with him a wealth of experience, deep industry knowledge, and a true passion for tourism. Over the past 9 years, Art has made a lasting impact on Visit Reno Tahoe through his commitment, dedication, and leadership, which helps strengthen our destination's presence and reputation in the travel and tourism industry. Art's loyalty to Visit Reno Tahoe has never wavered, even if his UNLV rebel roots have reminded us of a friendly rivalry over two along the way. His professionalism, enthusiasm, and genuine care for both his colleagues and our community have made him an invaluable part of our organization. Please join us in congratulating Art Jimenez on his well-deserved retirement and thanking him for his many contributions to Visit Reno Tahoe. We wish him all the best as he embarks on this exciting new chapter ahead. The team had local artist Brianna Craig work her magic and produce artwork that represents Art's passion for snowmobiling, Reno Tahoe, and of course, no limits.
It is so cool.
Oh, this is awesome. Look at that.
That's Art.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Okay, and with that,
Okay.
we have tasked Art with, in his last assignment as in a board meeting, as an employee of the RSCVA, to provide a recap of the American Bus Association, which was again, an honor to host this last week, and Art and his team and Jennifer and Katie, including the entire events team at the convention center, did a phenomenal job. We've been working on this for, I think, 3 years. And it all came to fruition last week, and not to steal Art's comments, but they were blown away about our region, what we had to offer, from Reno to Sparks to Lake Tahoe, and I truly believe we will see reciprocal business from the bus and motor coach segment for our region moving forward.
All right, awesome. Clicker there.
4 years, sir.
All right, I have a full report for everybody, and it goes like this. It went great. Thank you. So, for the record, argument is, and on September 23rd, 2023, the RSCVA board approved for us to go after, actually to host, the American Bus Association Marketplace 2026, which also happened to be ABA's 100th year anniversary. So immediately after the RSCVA team, we kicked off the plan to the road to Reno. So ABA Marketplace was held in Reno January 10th to the 13th and took up halls 1 through 3, meeting rooms and pre-function areas at the convention center. And we also had 3 host hotel properties at the Atlantis Casino Resort Spa, the Nugget Casino Resort, and the Peppermill Reno Resort. Now, I'd like to just reiterate what Mike said a little bit ago. The importance of this piece of business is very important from 2 perspectives. And just to reiterate what Mike said, it's the value of business being midweek in January. We all know how important that is. The first time being on the West Coast in 30 years, we exposed over 750 motor coach and tour operators to the destination, many of which have never been to Reno. And you could have heard the comments non-stop for for a whole week. They were just blown away by the destination. The catering spend, I'll show you in a little bit what transpired with the catering spend and also the region's overall economic impact, just from a convention standpoint. But two, the value of future motor coach business. Fred Ferguson, the CEO of ABA, mentioned to us and to the organization that they will be back next year to physically measure the growth in this business, and it will continue into 2 years later, because to really see the true growth is going to be about 18 months, but he's committed to coming back and measuring the success of this convention. So as the host city, we were responsible for delivering numerous programs and deliverables. This is just the host city guide, right? And it's just loaded with deliverables and activities and hand up. Great job with the entire team. Way too many folks to mention, but there was a lot of people with a lot of moving parts to get this convention planned and implemented. So some of the activities that were included with the deliverables, just high level. We had the welcome desks at the 3 host properties and also at the Reno Tahoe International Airport. And we also had tours for 300 attendees. These tours were sponsored by Travel Nevada, Visit Carson City, Visit Carson Valley, Lake Tahoe Visitors Authority out at South Lake, the RSCVA, and also Travel Nevada sponsored 2 post fans. I'd like to just take a moment to recognize Travel Nevada for their support with us. This was a big lift for us to sponsor this convention. Without them, it would have been a little bit more difficult. They sponsored nearly $100,000 in sightseeing tours, money towards us, hard dollars towards us to offset some of our costs, and also to fund the tours for the Reno Tahoe territory and these DMOs. These tours were very important to the destination. And when these were launched last September, by October 1st, they were completely sold out. So over 300 people. We even had some people that were in their cars that followed the buses to different destinations because they wanted to go so bad. So thank you, the team for working on these. Also, on January 10th, Mr. Larragueta, along with local dignitaries, officially opened Marketplace by participating in a ribbon cutting commemorating ABC's 100th anniversary. Thank you, Councilwoman Bybee, for attending. It's very nice. Thank you. Later on that day, Mr. Larragueta addressed 2,500 attendees at the welcome general session, and also welcomed Ben Rupert of the Reno Sparks Indian Colony to deliver a land acknowledgement. It was a great day that day. So ABA Marketplace also consisted of a 4-day trade show where we welcomed over 2,500 attendees each day. We had a variety of booth activations, so we had a lot of fun planning these, and we had a lot of fun in the booth as well. After all, we're selling fun, right? It's tourism. Again, to commemorate ABA's 100th anniversary, we displayed a 100-year-old Chevy Superior Series 5. I'm sure you all knew that, looking at that vehicle. That's provided by the National Automobile Museum. Mr. McDougall was a great partner of ours. And we also commissioned a local artist, Terrence Hammond, who's sitting right here, Terrence Hammond, to create a painting showcasing a motor coach trip across America. We're going to unveil this in a little while, okay? Actually, if I can just take a moment, we had an activation where Terrence hand carved these stamps, and I'll pass them around. He hand carved these stamps to make various postcards that we imprinted with ink, and then the guests were able to fill them in with colors. And this was nice because as the customers were in our booth, they were there for like half an hour. We were talking to them, getting to know about their business, getting them to activate with us. So rather than just passing out brochures, we were, actively engaging them while Terrence was painting his paintings over a 4-day period. Also, our amazing tourism sales team, Jennifer Diaz and Katie DeMuth, were on hand to give information about the destination to our guests and also talking about new business for the destination. So, ABA also conducted 3 breakfasts and 3 lunch general sessions that were attended by approximately 2,600 people per session. They also conducted a variety of side breakfasts and lunches and cocktail events throughout the week. So in all, totaling over 15,000 people were served, right? Renee, about that, 16,000 people were served during the convention by Aramark. And I've got to say that the food was amazing that they provided. It was truly delicious. So hats off to Marimar for conducting this event. Thank you. And I would say that our most elaborate event was the opening icebreaker event that was sponsored by Travel Nevada and the RSCVA on Sunday, January 11th, where 2,000 delegates were offered a variety of activations. So beginning with a hearty Reno welcome by the University of Nevada's drumline and cheerleaders, our DMO partners throughout the region, hotel partners, and staff greeted them as they walked into the National Bowling Stadium. And they were also treated to a dance floor. You really can't see if I can point it out. Anyway, there's a dance floor that Chad and his team built over how many lanes? 10 lanes. 10 lanes, and we had a band playing up there, we had a DJ up there, but everybody bowling. They also got the guests also got to play in the Stadium Club, the movie theater, where we were showing Top Gun, and we activated Kingpin as well. And again, the food and beverage, the setup was. We have plenty of video and photography, and we can get out to everybody in the future, but it was just second to none. They did an amazing job, and also all of our staff at the Bowling Stadium. It's an amazing event. 2,000 people. And then finally, to recap, these numbers are unaudited, but Vicki Osmond with ABA mentioned to us that they had about 2,500 attendees. So this rivaled what they had in Nashville Nashville like 2 years ago, which was a high number. Now Philadelphia was a little bit higher last year because they're really built for sightseeing and tours and what have you. But for us to reach what Nashville did was quite a testament to the interest in our destination. It generated 6,400 room nights, and these are just room nights tied to the host hotels, not those that stayed out of the block, unfortunately. And there will be a full audit afterwards. And again, we had over 750 motor coach and tour operators that were exposed to the destination. And then we gave them a hearty goodbye. We gave them a hearty welcome and a hearty goodbye. Thanks to Chad and his team. You talking about the bowling balls that we customized for them?
Yeah, so we had five bowling balls that we presented to them that were used by the professional bowlers when we had the World Series of Bowling last year in February. And those were balls that were used by the pros and were left behind. So we got them all cleaned up and nice, and then we had them personalized with their name and 2026 ABA Reno Tahoe. So
They love that.
we're actually in the process of shipping those back to them now, and they can have them as souvenirs moving forward.
And so the next slide is just a short video clip that Christine and her team put together. Just kind of, just maybe not even 30 seconds to give you a little taste of what the ABA was like this year. That was it really quick. So as I mentioned, Terrence Hammond is here, also known as Doom Movement. We unveiled, it wasn't complete yet. We unveiled this on stage at ABA on the last day, and we're gonna unveil it to you today. It's not done yet because we're still need to frame it and get it shipped off to ABA when we're done, but that's how we look at it. So Terrence, tell us a little about your planning for this.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Terrence. My artist name is Doom Movement. I paint murals. I have murals all over town. I'm from Reno. So I wanted to put Reno at the center, right? We had to celebrate the 100 years of American Bus Association. So we wanted to represent the journey. So from my imagination, I picked different destinations around our country and kind of mashed them together with like the floral and natural feel. And it's kind of what you got.
You all have a little envelope that has some of these postcards you can take with you. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Vice Chair, that concludes our executive update.
Thank you. If I may, Art, I want to thank you for all of your hard work. It has been short, but a true pleasure of mine to be able to experience all of the wonderful things that you're doing here. And I can tell pretty immediately that you have a wonderful heart for this and care a lot about the organization, and you have had a pretty amazing career, and it's something that you should be very proud of. So
Well, you're all in good hands. Good hands. Keep that
you will
ball.
be greatly missed.
Thank you.
But we wish you well on your retirement. And I also have to say that I had the opportunity to stop in while they were getting set up, the American Bus Association. It is incredible. The amount of work that all of you take on every day really is, it's incredible. It is a lot of moving parts and pieces, and it has a tremendous impact in our community. So I think that should be celebrated, but thank you. And I'm sorry, yes, ma'am.
May I make a comment?
Yes.
Okay, again, I would like to echo Art. Guess it's been 4.5 years I've been here and been able to work with you and watch the incredible things you do. And like Courtney said, your heart and experience and what you brought to the team is amazing, and you will be missed. Hard to replace. I mean, each person that we lose has brought so much to this organization, to tourism, to what we do as an organization. And then on the ABA, the one thing that I was there, so I saw it, they presented 2 big checks to you guys on what the economic impact was for this year and what you anticipate coming in. Can you share those numbers? Because they were super impressive.
Yeah, if I recall them. So the economic impact, I think we were around $5 to $6 million.
Just for the convention.
Just for the convention itself.
3.7.
Oh, 3.7, you're right. And then the overall impact in terms of what the motor coach segment represents was north of $200 million.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from the tour operators,
Yeah,
they
Yes,
anticipate
from that
for
segment.
200 million will come.
There were 2 numbers. One was for Rhode Nevada, and one was for the entire state.
Okay.
And that number was in the 400 million, I believe.
3.5, 200 and
Yeah.
or 400.
Who put those numbers together, Mike?
So this was produced by the American Bus Association through either, I'm assuming they use Tourism Economics, which is a national leader in providing data for hospitality.
Thank you.
Pretty impressive. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you. We will move on to our E items, which are board matters. Item E1 is the appointment of the Incline Village Crystal Bay Visitor Bureau Board of Director seat. It's my understanding that we have Mr. Long and Annie Chapman as the candidates. Do we have any discussion on this? Or is there a motion?
On a motion. So if I can just put on the record, just so it's there. So Mr. Long's initial 2-year term is up at the end of this month. He's eligible for reappointment. This is for a 2-year term that will commence February 1. And this is voted on by the entire board.
Madam Chair, I make the motion.
Make a motion
Second,
for Mr.
For
Wall.
Mr. Long.
Yes.
for Mr. Long.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Good point.
Thank you. We have a,
1 second.
we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sorry, was there? All those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Long, for continuing to serve.
you.
Appreciate it. All right, we will move to item E2, which is the election of the RSCVA Secretary Treasurer position. This is something that we are required to do, and we are set to elect a Secretary Treasurer from among our members. Do you have a comment?
I don't, other than this is a statutory requirement that we have a secretary and a treasurer. We typically combine those 2 positions, have one person serve both. Per the statute, they're re-elected in July of even number years. So July of this year, we'll be renewing this. So this is a fairly short-term appointment. As far as duties, most of the obligations of the secretary and treasurer are handled by staff. So with that, we'll open it up to the floor for discussion or motion.
So Ben, is this position traditionally, we've done that as someone who's on the finance subcommittee?
We typically have, we don't have to.
Okay.
But
that is
typically, yes.
right. Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Cronin?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to nominate John Easthad as Secretary Treasurer.
All right, we have a motion. There's a second by Commissioner Andreola. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of having Mr. East be our Secretary Treasurer?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. East, for your willingness to serve. Appreciate it. We're gonna continue with all the complicated questions.
It's a good night.
Right. Item E3 is our review, discussion, and possible approval of a sponsorship of the Disabled American Veterans Conventions for 29, 31, and 33 in an amount not to exceed $150,000 to be allotted from the 25-26 fiscal year budget.
Thank you, Vice Chair, and I will introduce the item, and then I will defer to Mr. McGinnis to go into the specifics. This is an opportunity where the RSCVA sales team pursued Disabled American Veterans Convention for initially an annual, and through the discussion, had the opportunity to bid on multiple years. Reno Tahoe was selected and awarded this convention for 2029, 31, and 33. The contracted room nights are approximately 7,000 per convention, but this group notoriously exceeds that block and will be closer to the 8,500 room nights per convention per year. So significant impact on the region takes place in the month of July. As part of this bid process, DAV required that within the signed agreement, that the commitment that we put in part of the sponsorship of being awarded the business at 50,000 per year be awarded within this fiscal year. And so Mr. Chisel, in his experience, provided an opportunity to allocate these funds into a fund this fiscal year that will carry forward, will then not be exhausted until the actual year that the convention consumes. And this sponsorship amount is tiered to room night pickup. So if for whatever reason in 2029, DAV does not meet their block and falls below it, then the sponsorship will revert to a lower amount based on the rooms that are actually picked up. Mr. McGinnis.
I don't know what else I said. I think honestly, I mean, Mike summed up the background of it. And just to throw this out there, Misty Sparks is the regional director that is responsible for staying after the Disabled American Veterans. And as Mike mentioned, we were literally going after 1 year. And then it felt so good in the site when they came here and went really, really well that we thought, okay, well, maybe we'll ask about 2. And then they came back to us and said, would you consider 3? Short pause, yes. So this is where we're at on the funding side. So I think then we have the proposed motion from the staff report that I think is handed over to your side of the wall, or
Correct. I mean, if there are any questions.
I don't, did we talk about the reason why we're doing this in advance of 2029? Did I miss that piece that we don't want to encumber future boards?
So this is a requirement that came from DAV. They were reluctant to sign the agreement of commitment of 3 years without a guarantee of the funds being available for each year.
Okay.
Yes, even though we are asking the board to approve this amount today in an amount of $150,000, when we actually get into the year that the event consumes, that board could deny those monies at that time within that fiscal year. Correct?
Well, I think that's the reason we're structuring it this way. So typically in these agreements, we have language that says these future commitments are subject to board ratification and allocation in the year in which the funds are spent. DAV wasn't comfortable with that. And so what we're essentially doing today to meet the statutory requirement that precludes that is we're allocating the funds out of this year's budget. And those will carry forward so we can sign a binding commitment because boards in future years will have those funds available from this budget year.
Do you have any additional questions or items to discuss? All right, we have a motion.
Madam, I make a motion that we accept the proposal.
Thank you, Mr. Crono. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Long. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there additional discussion on the item? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
I'm gonna abstain because I was not here, I was not part of the discussion. And at the same time for the last meetings, agenda or the agenda today, I voted yes, but for the minutes of last meeting too, I'd like to abstain, please.
Understand. We'll have the minutes accurately reflect that. Clerk. Thank you, Mr. Frog. All right, so we have a motion, a second, we called for the vote, all those in favor, I'll do it again, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, thank you. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously, thank you. Takes us to item E4, which is our review, discussion, and possible action to approve the staff's recommendation to contract with future partners for destination research at an amount not to exceed $117,500.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I'm gonna defer to Miss Ernie on this one. I will not steal your thunder, please.
Yes, we are looking to, for the board's approval to possibly authorize us to continue our agreement with future partners. We have worked with future partners, as many of you know, for the past, this will be the 5th year that we are hoping to get approved. They have conducted the visitor profile study for the region, which is why do our visitors come here? What do they do when they're here? What drives them? What motivates them? And what do they actually do? This research company, just as a quick background, does work with a third-party panel to get all of their data. We also work with them to do an ad effectiveness and brand health study. We are recommending that we go move forward with that this next year with the onboarding of Miles Partnership, which is a new agency of record that we onboarded just this past July. We would like to maintain our research in making sure that our brand, and as we're looking to evolve it, many of you were here part of the No Limits evolution update last month's board meeting. As we move forward with that, we want to make sure that we continue to have the impact and greater impact with that brand and with our ads as we move forward this next year. Historically, we have done, as many of you may recall, a resident sentiment study. We are recommending that we pause on it for 2026. We feel that the past 3 years, we've seen pretty consistent growth in improving resident sentiment with tourism and their understanding of their importance. So we are recommending that we pause on that for this year, but we do recommend that we move forward with the brand health and the visitor profile study.
All right, any questions or discussion? Oh,
Madam Chair, you said we've been with them for 6 years.
This would be our 5th year for 2026 would be year 5.
Why we have not put it out there to get other bids?
They are recognized as the leader in destination marketing. They're used by our agencies of record and trusted partners with them, and just given their bandwidth, that's why we have continued to go with them, is their power and influence.
So much has changed with social media,
Oh, yes.
with AI. All those 2 factors are going to impact this study.
How are they going to impact it?
Yes.
I mean, we are seeing social media and AI impacting every day. I mean, we all see it, especially with search. When you Google a place to go, AI gives you an answer before websites give you an answer. And so it's interesting, but it's something that I know we've been keeping ahead of the curve on that. I think we were the first destination to integrate AI into our website now 5 or 6 years ago at this point. And it's really positioned us well to be recognized by chatbots, but it still is, it's ever changing. Social media, you plan ahead and things and policies and rules change throughout the year. So we're always pivoting is what we say, but we all keep a very close watch on it and stay ahead of it. And that's part of the reason why we do these visitor profile studies is where are our visitors going to get their information? Are they using social media? Are they using search websites, AI, chatbots, all of these things? So it helps us keep a pulse on.
I appreciate what you said, but my question was how those 2 factors are going to impact this research this year. Specifically, are they going to be working more in the social media area and AI area? How are we going to be relating our research to those 2 areas? This is more specific. I understand what that general,
Oh, yeah.
you're right. But I want to know specifically, are they going to be doing something more? Are we going to be finding results in those 2 areas, especially with this research?
Yeah,
We
right, and ad performance, I think.
Yeah, so we do ask questions specifically about social media in this research. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
And how they interact with it? Correct, we do. We do ask those specific questions in these panel interviews.
Because the way you format your questions, it relates to the times.
Oh, absolutely.
Asking, how are they, have they made a presentation to to RSCVA about how those two issues are going to impact the research?
Short answer is yes. Every year, we don't simply recycle the same questions. We look at it with our agency. We've sat down with Miles Partnership and future partners, and we have gone through all of the questions for this next year. I didn't go into this detail, but we actually, in terms of the pricing, it's down a couple $1,000s this year because we don't just rinse and repeat. And some questions cost more than others and the way that we ask them. So in this survey, it is customized to this year. And while we try to keep synergies and to track trends year over year, we also at the same time try to remain relevant and make sure we are asking the right questions for 2026.
Please forward me that question.
The questions, yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Fry. Councilwoman Ivy.
Yeah. So Christina, on, for this amount, because we're not doing the resident sentiment, which I agree, we've done it 3 years in a row and it's been pretty constant. That's gonna save us some money, right? About 34,000?
It is, correct.
I took notes for my pre-boards. So we're spending $34,000 less by not doing that. And I will say the visitor profile is always fascinating. And it does change a little. And then I think sometimes I'm surprised by some of the visitor profile. And obviously we need to track, you know, how the ads are doing and how we're connecting. So yeah, I found this group and what they provided us to be very beneficial. So thank you.
Of course, and they will be coming, sorry to interrupt, in a couple of months, likely in March, once we get the 2025 results, as we have in the past few years, we will invite them to come out and present all the findings to the board and go into detail.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the contract for Future Partners 2026 not to exceed $117,500.
Thank you, Mr. Long. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Crono. We have a motion and second on the floor. Is there additional items for discussion? And then we'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Abelser. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes unanimously. All right, we are now into item F, which are board member announcements, reports, and updates. Are there any from our colleagues? Okay, well, we might just rename this to Courtney's item. First, I want to sincerely apologize for being late to my colleagues and our guests and those watching online. We, as Mr. Larangetta mentioned, we were over at a press conference for the sheep show, and I have to say that it is incredible what they have going on over there. I know there's a lot of effort that goes into this. It is something that is hugely impactful for our region. The work that they're doing in conservation is very important, and what they're doing for to encourage our young children to be responsible sportsmen is something that I think is particularly important. So we're very glad to have them here, and it was certainly not my intent to keep you waiting, but so my apologies.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
for future agenda items, I know we're gonna get ready to go over the budget for next year and our strategic plan. If we could get a timetable for that strategic plan, because I think it's critical, at least for somebody like myself who's new back on the board, to understand where the funds are, where it's being spent, how it is in supporting our mission statement. Thanks to Mike and the team for the last 2-3 weeks, we've been very much involved with the staff, getting information and analyzing the information. So when I talk, I don't put my foot in my mouth. So that it is important. The sooner we start, I believe it gives you timetable to analyze all the areas of the operation, where the cost centers are, why, where we can reduce expenses and put that funds into sales and marketing, where the mission of this agency is.
Thank you, Mr. Fry. I'll work with Madam Chair on that, and staff will make sure that that gets taken care of. I appreciate that. I will also, I would like to thank Commissioner Hill and Mr. Esquaga for their service here. And welcome, of course, Mr. Farahi and Commissioner Andriola. Wonderful to have you both. For the airport update, of course, I'm sure everybody has seen by now that Mr. Griffin has tendered his resignation. And he will be leaving us for Columbus, Ohio. We wish him, of course, all of the best, but the Board of Trustees will be engaging in a national search to find a new CEO. So those efforts are underway. Chris Jensen, who is the Chief Operations Officer, has been named the interim CEO, and that was done unanimously by our board. A couple of things to pay attention to will be in February, gates B1 through 9 will be closed for our concourse construction, which is a big deal. In our last board meeting, we approved the GMP for the concourse construction. And so there's a lot going on at the airport. If anybody who has been over there recently can see that we are moving quite a bit of dirt. The Grand Transportation Center is actively under construction, and so is our HQ project. We have a few seasonal routes that are returning that we're excited about. And so I just wanted to again mention Art as well, and thank you for your service. But those are all of my updates, and I appreciate the indulgence there.
He's done a great job for this community for the 5 years he's been here. It's unfortunately sad that we're losing a talent like that in this community. Everything takes time. So we hire somebody, it's going to take a couple of years at least to get up to speed.
Yeah.
And some of the reports, at least that I have heard why he's leaving, that's not how we should run this community.
I agree. It is a loss for our community.
It's very sad. So
Yes.
please thank him, at least for myself, and I'm sure many other board members would want to thank him for what he contributed to our community.
Absolutely. It is a loss. I agree with you on that. All right. We're in item G. Do we have a new member or, I'm sorry,